What in the Ninja Turtles Beyond shit is this? I don't know. This just screams we're trying to sell toys at this point. Bow. Yo, what's going on, you guys? This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, here with me, myself, and I on the ones and twos, and this is We Ain't Seen the Reactions, the place where I react to everything I ain't never seen. And today we're going green for some more TMNT reactions, and this time around it's not going to be the usual TMNT we react to, which is TMNT 2003, which you can check out over here on YouTube, or if you want to see things early in advance, you can check out there over on Patreon. No, we actually taking it back further than that, to the very beginning with TMNT 87 all the way to TMNT Tales of the TMNT. Yeah, man, we're actually going to be going back on a blast of nostalgia and checking out all the awesome openings that actually just led many kids to know these songs. You know, it's a timeless classic, and I want to check out to see like what I missed. Some of the things that I didn't notice as a child, but I know I definitely appreciate now as an adult, and you know, just vibe out with you guys, because that's one thing that I can say about TMNT. It's withstood the test of time. It's a product of awesomeness wrapped into one big ball of nostalgia. You know, it's like it inspired kids that want to eat pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. And it made us just want to yell cowabunga and play with nunchucks and break windows and shit when we was kids. Which kind of had the soccer moms up in a frenzy, which led Michelangelo to drop the nunchucks up in the 80s series and pick up a grappling hook, which was unfortunate. And I think he used sausages up in one of the movies too, which was also unfortunate. But yeah, man, there's just so much to love about TMNT. I particularly remember all the memorabilia and the merchandise that I used to collect. You know, I think we can all agree, like if you was a kid growing up in the 90s, you used to go to Pizza Hut, you had the shirts, the action figures, the toys that came in so many different varieties, from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playing basketball to being an astronaut. Kind of made you want to aspire to be those things. And if you were a 90s kid, you remember your friends or maybe yourself having a TMNT blanket that most likely smelled like piss. You know, there's just so many nostalgic moments that I just cherish in my brain, man. But I just want to see how much of this stuff I'm going to remember and how much stuff that, you know, I may have overlooked, because TMNT is such a multifaceted thing and it's such a global phenomenon that sometimes we miss out on stuff that other parts of the world gain access to. So yeah, I'm going to be utilizing everything that I could find pertaining to these openings. So it might be some stuff that you guys aren't necessarily aware of, and stuff that I might not even be aware of, because I tried to collect all these things with a blind eye. You know, I usually just press record and walk away from the screen until it's said and done, and I edit all these things together without trying to look at too much of what it is. So yeah. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and jump into this TMNT all intros, 87 through Tales of the TMNT. Here we go. Man, the animation still holds up so well. At least on this opening. I know they kind of downgraded as the series went on. Hey, get a grip. Perfect transitions too, man. Like, this is peak animation during the 80s right here. Hamato Yoshi. This nigga making a big ass sewing machine. Spin a Rudy on him. Heroes in a half shell. Oh man, blast nostalgia, bro. Yeah, I really love this opening because even though it is a bit dated, you can tell that the animators went all in to sell us on TMNT. Like, they were really trying to just drive it home that this is the new wave that we're going to be setting. This is going to make a precedent for other cartoonists and showrunners to step their game up. And I feel like TMNT definitely changed the landscape when it came to that, because this thing, for all intents and purposes, is to sell toys, and it did just that. And one thing that you may have noticed is that there started to be this big ass like expansion of all these different shows consisting of anthropomorphic characters, or should I say buffed up anthropomorphic characters, and I think that's largely accredited to the TMNT's popularity. I know some of you guys would argue differently, but I just remember things like Battletoads, which was the obvious ones. You have other things too, which kind of harp on that radical side, like Squat Cats, Biker Mice from Mars, Stone Protectors, which I don't think anybody ever mentions. I remember Stone Protectors too, because they had a kind of treasure troll aesthetic, except they were jacked up as well. So yeah, man, a lot of different things that led to the, TMNT just causing this seismic shift up in the culture and making these other companies want to, put their finger on the pulse of that so they can generate billions of dollars as well. But let's get back into this. I give that opening an S, by the way. Oh yeah. Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love this opening. I popped so hard when I saw like all the different like clips of the movies, particularly the first one. Such a badass opening too. Sinatra and the Green. Attacks. Really? Okay. Yeah, I just love it, man. Look how serious they look in this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hell yeah. Man, I think if I'm not mistaken, they call that the Red Sky season, mainly because it consisted of red skies, This is when the Turtles were kind of like on their way out, and I feel like the showrunners kind of got enough leeway to do what they wanted to do, to kind of like mirror what was seen in the Mirage comics, where you have a darker aesthetic for the Turtles and a darker tone overall. And like, I just vividly remember seeing that opening because it featured a lot of the live action movie, just scattered about up in it, and one thing that I always hated is the fact that certain things weren't acknowledged. It's like back when you were a kid, you think that everything is just some expanded continuity. You're not aware of the multiversal aspect of it all. But I always wanted that to be like some kind of brand synergy, and it seems like that's what they were going for with that. If I'm not mistaken, they even featured Toka and Razar in one of the episodes. So yeah, man, I love that season. Don't remember a lot of it since I was relatively young when I watched it, but that opening is still etched into my memory bank. But let's go ahead and jump back into this next one, man. Here we go. What we got here? What is this, a Shikon Jewel from Inuyasha? Okay. Oh, the anime. I wish we could have got this, man. I would have dug the shit out of this. I know the toys would have sold like hotcakes too. I don't know the name of this, but I think this is like a limited type of run, like an OVA in Japan. Look how badass the Turtles look. Their weird, janky humanoid faces. And Super Sentai power-up abilities. Go Turtles too, come on now. And like, if that doesn't scream Super Sentai Power Rangers shit, I don't know what does. They even had Shredder looking cool up in this. Hey, they got Ninja Ned up in there. Yeah, we all get Shikon jewels. Put them under your armpits. Yeah. That looks really cool. Hey, Michelangelo got a spider. They're tired. Don't tell me Bebop and Rocksteady wore you guys out. Yeah. And that's the thing that they fuse into, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the Turtle Knight or Saint Turtle or some shit like that. They should have dubbed this shit. Well, we got... Oh, shit. Okay. This is the one that we do not acknowledge. We try to avoid this shit like the plague. No. What the fuck? Hold on, somebody's mask was yellow. That's weird. Yeah, that's next mutation. That's the one that we try to avoid like the plague. Like, we tried our best to just eradicate it from our memories, but we just can't escape it. It's like somewhere it's hiding in your closet, under your bed, ready to just show its ugly face at any given turn. Oh, we got another one. Okay, this is the opening that I heard when this originally aired on Fox. Na 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 ninja. Na 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 ninja. Why they got a gangster gorilla over there? Yeah, like I remember that song. One thing that I will say about the next mutation is that when I was a kid and, you know, I'm just going in with hopeful enthusiasm, I was like head over the, like I was just over the moon, because you guys got to remember, before we got that series, Saban did a rollout for that particular one. That entry was something that was going to actually bring TMNT back to the spotlight that it deserved, because you guys got to remember, like, for the longest time, after the 80s cartoon got canceled, or, you know, it ended its run, TMNT went on a very, I don't know, indefinite hiatus, if you can call it that. And I don't think that the creators knew what they wanted to do with it. So in order to put it back into, you know, mainstream audience, put it back in that front spot, they went to Saban, which Saban, you already know, they're mainly known for Power Rangers. And I guess since Power Rangers was kind of dominating at the time, even outdoing, or, you know, at least in terms of viewership and merchandise, outdoing the Turtles, it's like it seemed like a brilliant strategy to go to the people that are beating us, you know, to give our property relevance. And I think that's what Eastman and Laird wanted to do, but unfortunately there were some stipulations. It's like you had to have an additional turtle, and that additional turtle had to be a girl, which was a sin, you know, because they tried to make it seem like she was the missing turtle, and by proxy they tried to make her a love interest since she was a girl, which they said that, oh, since we don't want incest to kind of like factor into this thing, let's make it like these brothers aren't related. And that's a big no-no to me. Hated that series. I did not like the humor and stuff. And it's funny too, because Power Rangers in Space, they had a way better version of those turtles. I look at the Power Rangers in Space crossover turtles totally different than I see the actual turtles from their own show, because for one, they had different voice actors on that version, and I feel like the choreography and fighting was a lot better over there than it was on the actual Next Mutation show. That's just me, you know, it just seemed too slapsticky for my taste. But anyways, let's go on and get back into this. Hey, Turtles count it off, 1, 2, 3, 4 turtles. It's a shell of a town. Turtles count it off. Nigga huh with the big ass shoulders, like you been skipping leg day. It's my favorite part right here. I love being skipping and dipping and flipping. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Gotta watch out, cut your nuts off, nigga. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, I love that. Alright. Like, this is where they have multiple openings within a TMNT series. Ninjutsu action. Let's see. I think they talk about the Shredder up in this too, right? Like what they did to the Shredder. Yeah. Okay, we got a little featurette with Leatherhead. Yeah, you better. Hey, my nigga Bishop. Headless Stockman. That shit was cold, I ain't gonna lie. Feature April up in there doing a Tatamaki Senpuken kick. New graphics. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm completely blind at this point. Hey! Never let us down. Alright, so they changed up the lyrics a little bit more. Blasting through shit. Not always. Uh-huh. What's up with that fade, nigga? That is such a badass shot, man. I love that. There's something about seeing April in action, man. It's like we have a gender bent Shredder now. I think we already know who that is, too. That's obvious who that is. What? What in the fucking Ninja Turtles Beyond shit is this? I don't know. This just screams we're trying to sell toys at this point. The song is kind of hidden, though. Okay, businessmen still. Alright. Really? So what's with the big guy and Rusty Robot? Oh. I don't know about that one, guys. I don't know. That one right there ain't it. Like, we had such an awesome aesthetic with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the, what is that, the first 3 or 4 seasons? But this one right here, it just screams that we're trying to sell toys and we're trying to appeal to a, I don't know, a younger demographic than we already had. Like, say what you want about TMNT 2003, with the restrictions that they had at the time, they were still pushing the envelope when it came to how much they were willing to put up in the show, which pertained to a lot of violence, or at least alluded to a lot of violent incidents, mainly with the character of Baxter Stockman, who every time we saw him after a failed mission, he would have something wrong with him. It's like maybe he had a broken finger, or he'll be wearing a neck brace. All of a sudden he's wearing an eye patch and he has a scar over his eye, to the point to where this man is literally a fucking brain with eyeballs. Like, come on, man. But now it seems like with this one, like, 4 Kids really just put the hammer down on Mirage Studios and just told him, hey, bro, I'm gonna need you to lighten this shit up. I'm gonna need you to give us more hokiness, especially with this song where the Turtles are saying some ridiculous shit that just seems totally out of the spectrum of what this show introduced formally. And when we first got introduced to these Turtles, that's just me. Maybe I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. You know, I should wait till I get to that point. But, that looks a little rough. I'm not going to lie to you. They're in the future, too. Which, you know, we see the Turtles in different scenarios. Like I said, they're a multi-faceted team. So they're going to end up in different types of situations. So, yeah, maybe I should check out Fast Forward before I just completely judge it and, you know, wave it off. But let's get back into it. See what else they got. Oh my god, what did you do? Why do they have eyeballs? They're supposed to have cataracts. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, they look good. Wow. Yeah, everybody looks like Jackie Chan characters now. Okay. April wearing her yellow and black. Oh god. Why are they wearing clothes? And, okay. I'm digging the song. Damn. What is this, superhuman samurai? They're in the grid now? They're gonna rip it up, kicking Gigabutt? Oh shit. Who is that? I'll say this. The song is badass. Certain frames of animation, like with this particular series, I like how they always try to implement CGI into the openings, and that frame rate kind of like hikes up a bit compared to the usual 24 frames that we get in the actual episodes. I'll say that's good. Like when you see the turtles in motion, they're good, but when they're standing still, oh my god, visual downgrade. I don't know how to feel about that, man. Like I like what the first 3 or 4 seasons was presenting to us, man, but this, I thought that back to the, what was that, Fast Forward, the one that we recently saw, I thought that looked a little odd, but this one right here takes the cake. They look like frogs. They look like butt ugly frogs, and they have pupils, which really makes them stand out, you know, which I didn't think I would have a problem with, because we've seen the turtles with pupils a lot of times, but when you're used to seeing them without those pupils in this show for the remaining, I don't know, it's like it lasted for so long, and it seemed like with this one they just really upped the ante and tried to make this shit more child friendly. It's like they really upped the tone to egregious levels, and I feel like this wasn't a call made by if I'm not mistaken, Peter Laird, who was the one spearheading this ship that they were on. He was piloting this ship, and I guess he was at the mercy of 4 kids, and he just had to kind of bend to their will and make them a lot lighter in tone and make them look so fucking Disney-like. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like, this is Disney meets Turtles. But anyways, let's jump back into that, man. I don't know how to feel. And this is what I have to look forward to, guys? Is this what I have to look forward to? I don't know, bro. I don't know. That ain't it. That ain't it. All right, you got more. Oh yeah, they have Japanese openings for the 2003 Turtles, believe it or not. And this shit sounds Naruto Shippuden as fuck. Hey. With new visuals too. I'm pretty sure they used that in the promotional material, but hey, I like this. It's like manga panels. Let me find out the Japanese was reading Ninja Turtles comics from right to left. Kind of reminds me of a video game opening. Get them niggas! That Shredder looks cool up in this shot. Oh yeah, his Foot Clan. Tatsumaki Senpuken! Super kick! You'll notice with this series right here, all the sword users, all the thing they do is kicks. All the blade users. That's badass. Okay. Man, this has a funky vibe to it. I love it though, man. Like, Ninja Turtles goes well with Japanese because they use a lot of Japanese tropes. I feel like I know this band too. Oh yeah, I can dig this. Vacation permanent. I guess that's what it feels like when you're a Ninja Turtle. You feel like you're on a permanent vacation. You're just having like a lot of fun beating up Shredder goons. That is such a cool shot, man. Like, I love these visuals. I like how they just went out of their way to kind of spice up the opening. It's already an awesome opening, but when you can add more to it, why not? Yeah, TV Tokyo. Gotta dig it. What? Is this a Japanese opening? Japanese Destiny's Child? What the fuck? So whatever's in my inner, spit it out like a printer. We got some Trapanese up in this shit, boys. Yeah. So I'm feeling it, man. I didn't know I needed this. Everybody, speech-wise. Boy, this is like a party right here, yo. Everybody, everybody, everybody. Go. Hell yeah. Boy, I did not know I needed that. That was so awesome. And it's kind of like in line with what we got from like the 90s live action movies. Cause you know, even though that was dark, they used to have these fun songs like TURTLE Power and Spin That Wheel 9.9. You know what I'm saying? That's what that put me in the mind of. It's such a fun vibe. And they got niggas over in Japan, y'all. We got niggas and ninjas in Japan, bro. But like that had to be a black dude spitting them verses on this song right here. And they actually had some soulful singers, soulful Japanese singers singing the hook. Everybody, everyone, everybody get the job done, man. Come on, bro. I did not know I needed that. I'm gonna have to look up the soundtrack. I might even try to watch the Japanese dub to the TMNT 2003 because apparently it was popular over in Japan, which I'm not surprised because it's popular over here in the West. People really revere TMNT 2003 to a high standard and a high regard. So yeah, man. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump back into this. I think y'all know what's the next entry in the TMNT. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Hey. My shit. Ninja Turtles to the power. Can't stop these radical dudes. Y'all remember when we first got the reveal for TMNT 2012? The Cow of Boomers were hating off of this. They wanted nothing to do with this series. It's like, look at Neo. Leo, he over there like, yeah, I'm that ninja. Roid Rage. He knows it's party time. Everything need to be one mean green. Yeah. How can you go wrong with 2012, bro? You gonna say they have Shell? I think they have the most variant openings, though. So we're gonna be in for a long one with this particular one. It's like added sound effects, added animations, different lyrics. Get rocked. I love this opening, man. Yeah, that is so cool. That's a cool shot. It looks like it could be on a comic book cover. I love when he does that. I was like, what other way to pull up to just come in like, I'm that ninja. Mike can play too much. Hey, you can see Casey over in the corner now. In fact, that looks so badass. Casey just over there chilling. Uh-huh. It looks so innocent. And the bad guys lose. Ain't gonna lie, this shredder right here has to be one of the most dominant forces I've seen in TMNT. Like how you say, do anything it takes to get his ninjas through. We knew what he meant. Black people knew what it meant. Okay, we got a grappling hook, boys. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that was a slight difference right there. It's like I noticed some of these things now that I'm going back and seeing them back to back. I can notice the changes, subtle changes. Get rocked. One of a kind. I bet the wheels on this skateboard smell like piss and doo-doo. Okay, grappling hooks again. What else are we gonna see? Alright, so it looks like they're... we have Casey and the turtle blip that time. I'm gonna give you a little hip thrust action. Yeah, I remember when the Turtles had tails in their earlier figures and then they just magically disappeared later on. I wonder why. Alright, you see Razar, you see Tiger Claw, Karai. Oh yeah, this is the forest. Yes, Vision Quest if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Their costume looks so cool up in this. Over there teaching April some of that ancient Taibo. Kanoich action. There's just something about that shot of Casey just sitting there like a badass, man. Oh shit. Yeah.
They brought with them the invincible black hole generator.
Yeah, the black hole generator.
My brothers and I escaped, saved by a mysterious robot called the Fugitoid. Now we're trying to stop the Triceratons.
Wow.
Any way we can.
Hell yeah. I don't know, it kind of reminded me of like Star Trek meets Transformers Prime intro. I love this, man. I know Leo was enjoying being the captain of a ship. He's one of a kind. Yeah, April coming in with that fucking Jean Grey shit. Yeah, who wanna fuck with us? Ninjas on a fucking rock, turtle power. Ninjas on a moon rock. Alright, so we're back. Yeah, we're back. Get rocked! To make their moves. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Hey, bitch, I'm not just a picture. I'll stab your ass. Shredder, bro. He's one of a kind. It looks like April's wearing a different outfit in some of these openings too, like the black and yellow. Yeah. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, that's Shinigami and Karai up on the water tower this time around. I think this has the most changes. At least for this version of the opening, not the space one. Can't stop these radical dudes. I have to say too, this is probably my favorite version of Donatello. That is so cool, man. Super Shredder. Most roid rage. Hey. Solo Dolo Leo. Yeah, that's Rogue Leo right there. I like that. They're continuing to change it up, man, slightly. You have to have a keen eye to notice these things. Okay. So this has to be Tales of the TMNT. The jazzy version, the jazzy edition. Silhouettes. Yeah. Run, boys. Kind of reminds me of Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans intro. Karai with the Tatamaki Senpuken. Of course. Even those letters kind of put me in the mind of Teen Titans. Karai and April. Hey, with the backflip kick. Hey, that kind of put me in the mind of the comic books. You might hear me say that kind of put me in the mind a lot, but I can't help myself. Oh! Acid reflux! You can hear added percussions and stuff to the opening. So I can get more intense with each one. Let's see what we notice this time. Hey. Seth Green as Leonardo. Ah. So this is the Usagi Yojimbo era or arc. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's so funny. This guy's in pain and I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Splinter. They have so many openings for this particular entry alone, man. Yeah! I guess Raph isn't ready for that idea. Damn! Ah, okay, this is the Apocalypse episode. Turtle Apocalypse or something like that. Boom, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom. Michelangelo's arms just flailing. Okay, what's going to be the difference with this one? Now we're talking. I got an idea. Sewer apple. Ah, yes, the Halloween ones. This is the like, if I'm not mistaken, the Halloween time travel episodes. Yeah. Shout outs to them for putting them in bandanas, like red bandanas. Like an homage or reference to the classic Mirage comic book Turtles. Alright, now, how many more of these we have to go, bro? This has to be the last one, right? They're great.
Now we're talking. Yeah. I got an idea. Sewer apple.
Oh, yeah. 87 Turtles, baby. Taking it back to square one. Technodrome, Classic Shredder. Alright, so that had to be the last one from 2012. So let's do a brief intermission before we jump into the final ones. Yeah, 2012 TMNT is goated, man. I'm sorry. It's like I'm loving TMNT 2003 so far from what I've seen, but based on some of the openings for the later seasons, I will say in terms of quality and consistency, I feel like 2012 has 2003 beat, you know. Don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to like ruffle no feathers to the people that just like they are extreme and enthusiastic or fanatics for that particular series, but I don't know, it's just 2012. It did a good job of not only pulling in a younger demographic, but also bringing that older demographic that had kind of like moved on, but now have those kids that are watching the show. It actually brought those two particular generations back together. You know, it's like that's the beauty of TMNT. It's such a timeless classic, and anytime they introduce a new one, there's a chance to actually, you know, pull in a big audience consisting of young and old. And I feel like 2012 just did that so well, because not only does it introduce new things to the table, but it also brings back older classical elements from that, you know, just the 80s, not only just the 80s cartoon, but also the 80s comic book, you know, the Mirage comics, and it does a good job of just making them feel brand new. And I'm pretty sure there were a lot of parents, particularly moms and maybe just dads. I know the dads, you know, TMNT is mainly for boys, but women love it. But I'm pretty sure there were a lot of dads that were kind of like putting their son or daughter on game of all the different things that they saw, you know, like, oh, you know, this character right here, he appeared up in this, and oh, this bunny right here, he's a stable up in the TMNT franchise. You know, you see him every now and then. That's what I get from 2012, and it's just awesome that they actually had the most versions of an opening. You know, it's something that kind of gives you more incentive to not press the skip button and see what other new little details they're going to add up in there, actually acknowledging the events that have transpired and affected the Turtles in a positive or negative way. And like, I like that about the character of Leo, where we see him wearing his black outfit, which is where he just went rogue. Like, he was just trying to go solo dolo on his own and kind of work alongside characters like Karai and Shinigami. I remember that vividly, man. And then you get the Night Vision or the Vision Quest outfits too, which are cool. So many great things to like about that. And then, you know, the Tales of the TMNT, it's good. I don't know where to put that though, because it kind of seems like one-off stories that don't necessarily like fit in well, especially the Mutant Apocalypse episode, which people aren't that particularly fond of, and they don't want to just see that as the ending of the Turtles. But I thought it was a cool send off. But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into this shit, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this next one, which is one of my faves because the animation is peak TMNT, man. I don't care what nobody says. You can talk shit about this version, but you cannot talk shit about the animation. At least if you're gonna talk shit about it, make sure that you can distinguish animation from art design, because I feel like you have a problem with the art design when it comes to this particular entry. But let's get back into it. Like, this shit is peak Sakuga anime type animation, bruh. Look at the frames. Chaotic, kinetic. And rise. Oh, that shot. She was in a half shell, turtle power. That was peak, man. I don't care. This has to be season 2. I don't think much changes with this one except for the ending shot. It's like, but why would you want to change it though? Rise. I just love that shot of Leo teleporting. Turtle power. Man, such a cool show that gets too much hate, man. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like because of the drastic changes made to the actual story and the characters and their personalities, a lot of people just really just cast Rise to the side as one of the worst forms of turtle media. But I feel like a lot of people should give that show a chance. Like, that's the only TMNT show that I think brought tears out of me, which says a lot because it had its wings clipped before it could even take off and fly, man. Like, if you ask me, like, there was so much more that the showrunners wanted to do, but they were at the mercy of the big wigs in charge that were ordering them to put them in these weird episodic formats, like mini episodes within a single episode. Like, it had so many things going against it, but the showrunners themselves, the creators of this show, they went out of their way to at least introduce stuff that we love, like kinetic and fluid animations, especially with that turtle movie, which you guys should definitely check out if you haven't already on Netflix. I really wish that they would just do another season of this the right way they originally intended to do, because in regards to storytelling and relationships and just coming of age, Rise of the TMNT, I think they absolutely nail that. And then they do it all the while introducing newer things to the table, bringing back some of those classical voice actors that have voiced characters from the TMNT franchise before, and just being awesome, man. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this last one. Oh yeah, don't forget, we still got one more, so let's go out with a bang, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this next one, which is Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, which I don't know why they would call it Tales of the TMNT. It's like, didn't we just see openings to Tales of the TMNT? Anyways, man, I don't make up these names, I just talk about them. But let's go ahead and jump into this. Tales of the TMNT, y'all. We're going to be checking this out today, too, by the way. I'm going to be reacting to this. But here we go. Let's hope it's good. All right, kind of Scott Pilgrim-y. What is this, Sex for Bob? Oh, shit. Hey. Barf O'Neal. That nigga Ralph always got to wear... Oh, yeah, bitch. I'll swerve on your ass. Hell yeah. There's Trash Can Bot, Chrome Dome. Okay. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, I like that. I will say that it's a very brief opening, which seems to be a reoccurring thing for the later series, particularly with Rise of the TMNT, and now we got Tales of the TMNT, which, you know, it seems like they're just going to give us a big heaping helping of awesomeness in a digestible bite that's very condensed. I really love the scribbly nature of this all, you know, even though it's kind of like a deviation from what we've seen with the movie, which is CGI, it still captures that whole aesthetic of making it look like scribble, like it was made in a notebook. And I like how you can see that. You can actually see the notebook pages on each frame of animation, and then they get ripped off. It looks like somebody's continuously drawing them. I think that's one of the reasons why they're so short, because that's a lot of frames to draw. You know, when you want to draw something with Sakuga style animation, just wild in your face, punch you in the throat type shit, it takes a lot of time and effort. And I think that's one of the reasons why stuff like Rise and this particular entry is so short and condensed, you know, because of that fact that, you know, it's a time consuming process, a very demanding process. And, you know, unless you're Japanese or Korean, which I'm pretty sure this one probably was animated by a Korean studio of some sort, you're not going to get like a minute and 30 seconds, you know. But I love it, man. Like, I know people have a lot of shit to say about this particular entry too, which I am just like baffled by, because I know Turtles, it's a sacred property, especially to the ones that actually grew up seeing it from the very beginning, you know. I remember when I was a kid watching this series, and I would always go over to my mom's friend's house, and her son, who was a lot older than me, I think he was at least 7 or 8 years older than me. I remember him saying something to me when I was watching the 80s cartoon, you know, and I was happy to see it. You know, you're a kid, you're just hopeful, you're over the moon with the Turtles, and you're saying all the catchphrases like "Cowabunga." I remember that kid coming to me and just being, you like that fucking kiddie shit? That ain't my Turtles. That ain't real right there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the Turtles. This is Ninja Turtles, man. Come on, man. The Turtles right here, man. What Cowabunga, you know? And he just whips out these comics consisting of the original created thing from Mirage Studios, from Eastman and Laird. And yeah, it was a night and day difference. You know, and I was kind of like questioning if I should even watch the cartoon anymore after seeing that, because it's like the cartoons is essentially Weenie Hut Juniors compared to the Mirage comics. But one thing I will say about those cartoons is that if it wasn't for that particular entry, the cartoons, the 87 cartoon, if it wasn't for that, the Turtles wouldn't be as successful as they are. That particular cartoon introduced a lot of things that made the Turtles popular, and I feel like people forget that, because some things that I see in regards to the criticisms for stuff like Rise and this new entry, Tales of the TMNT, and what was the other one? Mutant Mayhem, or I forgot what it's called, but you know, the newest entry that we have that just released in theaters. That particular entry is that it looks too kiddie. Why are they pandering to the kids? Why does it look so childish? I'm like, bro, it's like you guys haven't even like you may have forgotten that that's how we got the shit to be so popular in the first place. It's because of its silly and hokiness. Those things are still stuff that we see up in TMNT. Yes, we do get later entries that harken back to the more serious tone that we've gotten from the Mirage comics. But don't get it twisted. It's because of that silly version of the cartoon or the property at large, such as the colored bandanas, you know, like if it wasn't for that, all the Turtles would be wearing red bandanas. And I'm pretty sure there's people that don't necessarily have a problem with that. That's probably how they would want it. But I like the different colors for each turtle. I like the letters on the belt buckles. I like the silly stuff. I never, you know, there's stuff that I had a problem with up in the 90s cartoon or 80s/90s cartoon. I never liked how Ralph, of all people, could slice stuff with his side. Like slice stuff like a fucking fire hydrant with a side, which isn't sharp at all. Like sides aren't even used for cutting. They're more of like a poking type of, like a puncturing type of blade, and they're used for guarding. You know, I never liked that, but I get it. You know, it just works. It works for what they're trying to, you know, present to these kids. You know, like they're trying to make it look cool. I feel like everybody is a little bit too critical, and essentially, the people that have kids that just so happen to be TMNT fans, I don't think they realize how much they're robbing their kids who are very excited to see these new versions. They're robbing them of that experience that they once had as a child. Just like I got robbed a little bit, like when that older kid told me that I was watching stupid fucking kid versions of the Turtles, you know, and I really enjoyed that version of the Turtles, you know. It's like I felt like that kid was kind of robbing me of my experience, my enjoyment, you know. Like let's not get it twisted. It's like we get into these series because it helps the TMNT brand at large. It keeps them relevant, you know. That's why they've been able to withstand the test of time, you know. That's just my minor rant right there, man. I just feel like TMNT fans, especially the older ones, we get a bit too entitled, not realizing that this is a multifaceted property. This is a multimedia property, and if you're not enjoying the current version that's on TV, there's always a local comic book store you can go to where you can buy the newest version of the Turtles, or you can go back and read some of the older versions that you've seen. There's always a fucking video game that you can go get from your local store, or maybe DVD rental place where you can check out the game. Like if you want classic Turtles or vintage Turtles, like maybe you are a fan of the 80s cartoon, why not pop in Shredder's Revenge and check that out? You know, like we have the fucking Last Ronin that's not only spanned multiple like novels, but it's also getting a video game and a movie adaptation. You know, there's just so many things that you can do to keep yourself occupied if you want something to satiate your particular taste or your hunger for a particular style of Ninja Turtles. So yeah, man. But I just really enjoyed going on this nostalgia trip for you or with you guys. And, you know, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied right now because my emotions are all over the place. But y'all know how I am, man. Like, anytime I'm passionate about the Turtles, man, I tend to trip all over my words. Like somebody just tied my two shoestrings together and I'm about to take off running only to fall on my face when I'm trying to give these arguments. But yeah, I just love the Turtles. I can't help it, you know. I'm always happy to see them in any form or format, man. And I'm happy to see this newer rendition of the Turtles, and hopefully I enjoy it. You know, I was like, I enjoyed the recent movie Mutant Mayhem. You know, I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. You know, it's like it didn't just blow my mind away, but I enjoyed what it presented. You know, I like when things bring new stuff to the table, and hopefully people just kind of, you know, give it a chance. Or if it's not your cup of tea, hey, don't ruin it for the rest of the people that are enjoying it. You know, don't just constantly just type negative things on each thing related to that particular version of the Turtles just because you didn't have your satisfaction. I think the biggest thing that disappointed me was when I saw a fan of Rise of the TMNT talking shit about this particular version, because it's almost like they don't realize how bad Rise got it, you know, which says a lot. It's like you would think that somebody that is a big fan of Rise would understand. Like even 2012 TMNT, like I said at the beginning of this video or somewhere in the middle of this video, I said 2012 TMNT, when it first got revealed, like just images of this shit, a lot of fans were in an uproar saying that their childhood was ruined. Like, what did they do to the Turtles? Why are they walking stereotypes? Why does Dunny have a gap in his mouth? Why is April a kid? It had all those criticisms, and people didn't even watch the freaking show yet, you know? So I would like them to at least give it that luxury. Like, give it a chance. Like, just check it out. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little reaction / rant that I went on. TMNT, man. I'm TMT to the day I die. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. What's your favorite openings? Like, if I were to say so, my favorite openings would probably have to be, I want to say Rise based off of the animation, but the one that I enjoy the most would have to be the first entry, you know, the first version, the 80s Turtles. And then I want to say 2003, but there are certain ones that I don't like, so I'll probably just put the first version of the 2003 opening in there, and then 2012. So yeah, but yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer. We ain't seen the reactions. I'll catch you guys next time for more TMNT. Peace.